The first thing we have to do is get our wagon party together. I'll be an adventurer who used to be a doctor, and I'll be accompanied by 5 others. Oh, and after recording the footage, I learned that this is a clickable tab in which you can get skills for your traveler. But I didn't know that, so I guess I just won't be very skilled. And since I'm not good at making up names, I'm just going to use a random identity generator to determine who my party members are. Our first party member is Mary, who is 79 years old? The only way someone that old will take a wagon across the country is if there's a golden corral at the other end. He'll be joined by Helen, age 45, James, age 65, Adolf, age 35, and Mildred, who, even though she has the name of an old lady, is the youngest one in the crew at 20 years old. So I imagine our wagon party looks something like this. But I'll need to stock up a bit more before we leave. Let's see here. Allspice, ammonia, pounds of bacon. I can buy bacon by the pound for 5 cents each? Well, we already have 510 pounds, but another 550 can't hurt. And while we're here, I guess we might as well stock up on some other supplies as well. Some bullets, 5 dozen candles, 20 pounds of candy, a couple of fiddles, I guess. I don't know, I've never really been that great at packing. And we're off. Oh, well, not but a few seconds into our journey and we've already hit a river. Now this is my first big decision as leader of a wagon, so I want to make sure I choose the right thing. Let's see if anyone is around so I can get some advice. Well, there's this person. She's standing right next to the river and staring at me suspiciously.
We should wait a while before crossing.
I don't trust you. But the unanimous decision seems to be that we've been at it pretty hard for these 5 miles, and we're already 1/400th of the way there, so we might as well take a couple weeks off. After our 2-week break, this lady still wants to rest. I mean, why agree to travel 2,000 miles if you can't handle getting out of the front door?
You know, this riverbank makes for a good resting place.
So screw you, lady, we're getting started. And we're off. Oh, well, Mary's got a bad cold, but that's not really too big of a... Well, when it rains, it pours, I suppose, because Helen got too close to a rattlesnake. It's okay, though, because I was a doctor at some point, apparently, so I know that the best thing to do is the tourniquet suction method. Oh, well, maybe not. Wait a minute, James died? James was bitten by a rattlesnake and died suddenly. My only guess is that we've stumbled upon a hive of rattlesnakes, so we really need to get out of here fast.
We're not going anywhere less than we give this poor soul a decent burial.
Let's try to find some kind of marker, a stone, or at least a piece of wood, to inscribe their name and leave it on the grave.
All right, fine. We're not gonna leave until we give James a
piece of wood.
Besides, if we don't bury him, we might have bad luck. Damn it, James. Okay, it's just a flooded trail. We can make it through this. James may be dead, but I'm feeling good. And this guy seems pretty confident as well.
It don't look too deep to me. I say we just keep going forward.
Well, okay, arguably that could have gone better. Let's just... the South Pallet River. At its deepest, the river rages on at 2 feet, and at its most shallow, it's land. And this water looks like it's moving at the ferocious speed of 0. This river appears extremely treacherous. Are you kidding me? What kind of pathetic wagon are we running here that tips over in 2 feet of water? I mean, the only thing more pathetic than that is that Mary almost drowned in it. I mean, sure, at the ripe old age of 65, you start needing things like a walk-in bathtub, but even so, I feel like you have to make a blatant attempt to drown in 2 feet of water. I mean, she doesn't even look like she's trying, like, oh, is this how I swim? And the rest of the team aren't even putting forth an effort to try and help. I mean, they look like they just got their clothes dry and don't want to go back in the 2 feet of water. 2 feet. What? I suffered an accidental gunshot? How does that even happen? I mean, did I shoot myself in the foot or something?
You sure it was an accident? We don't want any murdering varmints hanging about. Sure it was an accident, murdering varmints.
Piece of wood.
All right, that is definitely a toupee. Well, I better at least journal about it. Maybe some historian will read it one day and be entertained at my misfortune. And so I started my healing process, destined to recover to be stronger than ever before, and possibly have a robot arm or two if I can manage it. There was a scare when my wounds became infected, but after some time, those wounds began to heal. I was bleeding and in pain, so overall I would describe my condition as Good. During a visit to Wallow Springs, Mary got a concussion. Turns out that we just can't go near water without her doing something stupid. Putting my past medical experience into practice, I instructed her to sleep for 5 days. But that ain't nothing compared to Mildred's smallpox. I figured it was one of those diseases that you could just ignore and it would go away, but apparently not. For some reason, things started going downhill for me when I decided not to bury Mildred. Leaving Mildred's smallpox-ridden corpse to be feasted upon by passing bears and bison proved to be the wrong decision somehow. Of course, it could also be the lack of food and the fact that we lost more supplies to a river. Again, Mary? You know, we took the wagon through some fog earlier. I'm surprised you managed to stay afloat in that. Oh, okay, I see how it is. Don't want me to be the leader anymore? Fine, I'll be a greenhorn, but one day you'll regret this, and you'll be back. They always come back. Oh, you're back. Well, I can't help but think that this is some type of ruse. I mean, that is not exactly a trustworthy mustache. But I do enjoy a position of power, so I'll accept.
Sure it was an accident.